so good. I freaking love it. That's what he's doing right here. This is so... Do you realize what he just did right there? Oh, it's so smart. Every day Ryan posts a video, we're going to be breaking down everything that he is doing. If you were able to snag some things that you could apply to your own video, that is why I'm making these videos. I want to make this education free and all of us make better content on YouTube. Before we watch the breakdown, click the link in the description to go donate to water.org to give people clean water. $5 creates clean water for one person. And if you haven't yet, go watch his video. Let's do this.
This is a penny. That is the Eiffel Tower, and I have 7 days to use this penny to get from Europe all the way back home to America.
Stop there. So good. There's so much happening already. First things that jump out to me, my number one thing I absolutely have fallen in love with since making videos has been sound design. So first thing I hear is the iconic music. Brings back a lot of nostalgia over the past couple of years. What's interesting though, we didn't know where he was going to be. Within 1 second, we know where he is.
I have 7 days to use this penny to get from Europe all the way back home to America.
6 seconds, the entirety of these series is explained. That's how fast we need to be in explaining what the concept of the video is, because we want our content to be easily understandable. And if you want to go broad, you really need to make sure the language that you're using and the concepts are easily understandable. 6 seconds. Boom.
Here are the rules. Rule number 1, all profit must...
Oh, I love it. He could continue the talking head, right? We have 7 seconds of the talking head. But when he starts explaining these rules, we're already into the challenge. He's already walking around. Do y'all realize, like, the voiceover, he's still sitting in front of the Eiffel Tower recording this, right? He's explaining the rules. Also, love the music change. Rule 1. Dun, dun.
This could be the start of something amazing. Thank
Just a side note, kind of sad he didn't say you started a revolution. Guys, like, the intro is so important that we, like, get into the story. 9 seconds into the video, we're already surviving off of a penny. So how do you apply this to your own videos? Think about, like, okay, what is the concept of the video? Can I explain it in like 6 to 7 seconds? Okay, cool. Once I do that, are there more context that is needed for people to understand what is about to happen in the video? Notice he explained the 3 rules already traveling. So it feels like we're already on the adventure with him. Imagine yourself like walking along with Ryan, looking to his left, talking to you and explaining the rules. Like, this is what we're gonna do. That's what he's doing right here. And it's freaking awesome. So good, so good, so good. This shot I love because it introduces the location, and as soon as we find out where it is, he brings in the music that adds to that, and it just immerses us so much more into the atmosphere.
Wee wee.
Okay, this shot right here, I want you to remember this shot because there's something that happens later in the video that's like really, really fun and really, really important. It sets up, let's just get into this. I don't want to give away too much.
So close. I will get a baguette later.
This is so smart. Massive thing he did right here. This simple thing sets up a mini mission. It's a side quest, right? It's a rehook, like, oh, how is he gonna pay for that baguette? We'll have to keep watching and find out. It's another open curiosity loop.
Hello, hello. Yay, thank you. Bye-bye.
It's the subtle things, but the sound effects are everything to me. Music and sound effects just... Oh, I love it. When he loses money or gives money away, there's a... I want you to catch it. It just adds so much.
Hello, hello. Yay, thank you.
Did you hear that?
Bye-bye.
Oh, it's so good. Let's go.
The Eiffel Tower. I've got 2 waters to sell. This is crazy. You guys like to buy some water?
Okay, can I just say, if you want your video to be interesting, you can choose a really interesting location. It doesn't matter if you're boring or not. The fact that he's walking around, I've never been there. That is just an incredible shot of the Eiffel Tower in the background and he's selling water bottles. So freaking cool.
Girl? Selling water. Anyone thirsty? Thirsty. €2 for water?
Long segment with no cutting. Enunciates the amount of rejection that he's receiving. I know this is Ryan's style and you're probably used to seeing it, but the reason why he leaves these cuts a little bit longer is because it makes them more awkward. All right, let me break this sequence down. Baguette.
It wouldn't be a wise decision. It wouldn't, but soon.
Okay. Hey, guess what? If you forgot, the mini mission is the baguette.
I just need a little bit more for the next thing that I want to buy.
Oh, yes, this is so good. Okay, with this mini game plan that he didn't tell you exactly what he was going to buy next. If you want to find out, you gotta keep watching. It's another mini hook. He's stringing us along in a good way, like giving us more reasons by opening up more curiosity loops that get fulfilled later in the video.
Dude, look at those hats. Dude, that yellow one is nice.
He opened up another loop. He said that yellow one is nice. It made me feel like he was going to buy that yellow hat. Those are the things though, right? Keep your eyes open when you're filming your videos for like mini side quests.
People say Europe, there's people that are like rude. Everyone here is so nice. Even the nose are like a smile, a soft smile.
This is something subtle right here. These guys are such naturals at filming videos so far that they do this probably without even thinking. If you have a buddy filming you, it's a really great way to make people feel like one of the boys. I don't know if it's Zach or Preston holding the camera right now, but whoever it is, Ryan is talking to them and then he talks to the camera. And it's like the three of us are having a conversation and we're just standing there listening. The way that the camera is positioned is very intentional.
George, everybody comment, let's go, George. Yeah, George. You're gonna say it? 1, 2, 3.
Let's go, George.
Let's go, George.
Is so subtle, but I just love that Zach left in the moment when Ryan says, let's go, George. He like turns to George and like big old smile. I think it just showcases his character. I love this travel montage.
Now that we have a good base,
Oh, it's so good. Okay, let me break down this travel montage. There's a couple things that happen. One, obviously the music, iconic. France puts us in the mood. How do you make travel montages more interesting? You can do a slight zoom on all the shots to make it feel much more dynamic. He's also cutting on the beat of the music. The deeper storytelling tactic that he's doing here is setting up a pattern. Set up a rhythm of 3 and then break the rhythm. Very powerful in storytelling. As soon as you learn to do it, you'll notice it all over the place with good YouTubers. We're cutting on the beat. Here's 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now we've set up a pattern. What's next? Now we're breaking the pattern and we cut the music to make the cut feel so much harder. He just interrupts with his voice. I think that travel montage is incredible. It's only like a 6-second clip.
Okay. Step 1, locate the cheapest flight out of... Walk down here.
Leaving your outtakes in brings a much more human touch to your videos.
If you haven't seen this series before, I do it all for charity. This year we're raising money for water.org. Our goal is...
Notice that he waited 6.5 minutes before he explained the true, deeper purpose behind this series. Because raising water for people sounds good, but isn't necessarily sexy enough to get the masses to click on a video. And if you put that in the first 6 to 30 seconds, you would probably have more drop off because people don't care as much as the people that getting 6.5 minutes in. And so you'll have less of a drop off there. Because people are already invested, they've already laughed. He's like, oh, this is an interesting challenge. Ryan's trying to make me laugh too. You got all these different things that have been stacked in his favor already with 6.5 minutes. Now we can slow down, but in order to make the video feel like we're not slowing down, but we're actually picking up, we're gonna bring in a soundtrack that has a driving beat to it.
Cute, romantic. It's actually like the best money-making method I've ever discovered.
So powerful what you're doing right here. He's just throwing this little snippet of a money-making method that he did from the Penny series last year. And for anyone new to Ryan Trahan, they'll be like, oh snap, he's done this before. If anyone didn't know that he had another video series, this is a callback to more content. And you can do that in your own stuff and you can show it just like this. And what it does is it shows people that, hey, if you like what you're seeing, there's actually more.
We're gonna put you at the end screen of each video. $5,000 gets you a verbal shout out in the next video. $50,000 is still the great reset.
Are y'all picking up what he's doing? Two things. Just like he did in the intro, he's explaining the rules along the way. Otherwise, it's a talking head for too long. And the funny thing is about this, Ryan is talking to the camera while he's walking. That subtle movement of walking makes us feel like we're moving in the story. But the fact is, he hasn't introduced any new information. All we know is that we're headed towards the hardware store. It's so powerful to make us feel like we're moving, and he's able to explain more things about the fundraiser.
Department store.
It's funny. Zach actually was the one that taught me how to have a balance between locked off tripod shots, which all that means is like no matter what you're filming, whether you're filming on your phone or whatever, if you just like take your phone and set it up somewhere, prop it up against something, and you're talking to the camera, that is a locked off tripod shot. And then you switch to a handheld shot, it adds a much more dynamic feel. If you have a mix of different shots, it helps mix things up. So he had the locked off tripod shot, him walking across the street, and now he's handheld.
Be ready to go for a ride.
Oh, that's so interesting. I didn't get an ad the first time I watched through that. I believe it's past 8 minutes. You can actually select where you want the ad breaks to happen. And he had the ad slam us right after the phone hit the floor and it goes black, which is kind of like a perfect what happened moment, which hooks us again. So freaking powerful, guys. The dude is so freaking talented. Are y'all getting stuff from this? I hope you are. All right. So I forgot to mention a second ago, but also when he was showcasing, hey, this is what I've done before, this is what I'm going to do again, and also is closing that loop that was opened earlier when we bought the 6-pack of water so that I can do my next money-making method, but I'm not going to tell you what it is until later, right? And then he tells us later, and that's the payoff. It's delivery, it builds trust, and like he's opening up new curiosity loops as we go along. How is he going to draw these portraits, right? Notice he said he was going to paint or draw portraits, but he didn't explain the method on how he's going to make money from that.
1 minute portrait, donation only, free if you don't love it. Underlined love. Maybe I shouldn't have put love.
There's the close the loop on how he's going to make money. But with this explanation, now we're like, oh snap, what happens if they don't love it? Everything is so calculated.
I'm doing portraits, free if you don't love them, donation only. Guys, I'm gonna do my best, okay? Which one of you
Got
guys is
a little driving beat.
Didn't mean to start an
Cut some
argument.
music for the joke.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, there you guys go. Hey, cheers. Yeah. Have a good one.
Okay, there are two things that they do with this first interaction that are really, really powerful. I want you to notice the composition of this shot. They have only one camera running right now. They're showing us what the portrait looks like with the guy standing behind so that we can immediately compare and possibly chuckle ourselves. And then we're like, oh snap, what are they going to think as the portrait gets turned around? And then camera can stay right there because it's going to capture their reaction. It's so stupid simple. It's shots like these that one make your edit so much easier and more fluid. You get it.
There you guys go.
Just a reaction.
Hey, cheers. Yeah. Have a good one.
And they didn't pay for the portrait. And so the second thing that they also opened up right here was, maybe this money-making method isn't going to work, which raises tension because we need to find out if Ryan is going to fail through this money-making method and he's going to have to try something else. I learned this from Hayden and Ryan. No matter what happens during a shoot day, you can still tell the truth, but spin some things around. Like if they got paid for their first portrait, they might wait to show that until later in the day. Having an immediate rejection as the first one is so much more interesting because it's like, oh snap, now we're rooting for the underdog. You get hit with a rejection, now you have to overcome that rejection. Pope in the pool is essentially having two things going on at once and all the time. It makes the shots so much more interesting. You don't have to do it for every shot. Ryan is very strategic about his travel montage shots. And if you look at this, you got a bunch of pigeons eating, which is infinitely more interesting than him just walking across a pavement. Also, I might be overanalyzing this right now, but I think that was also a callback reminder to the baguette of the side quest that he opened up in like the beginning of the video.
There are babies in here and they're crying, and that's awesome.
When you're filming in public, you can't guarantee that the atmosphere will be completely quiet for you to film. One of the ways to combat that is to have audio extremely close to your face. What he's doing is like keeping it super close right here.
It's an overnight bus ticket. It's from like 11:30 p.m. to morning time in the next country. Boom, bang, voila. I know what that means now.
Do you realize what he just did right there? Another rehook. If you watched the previous series, you're already familiar that we wouldn't find out what the location was until the next episode. But if you're new, that's exactly what he did. Hey, guess what? We bought a ticket to the next place.
Especially this year because I can't do Uber Eats here. I can't
Call back to the previous series. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. He's saying that without saying that. Advertising this massive, amazing series that he did last year. You can call back your other content very subtly in your videos by just referencing them.
3, 2, 1, voila!
Okay guys, this is the second round. We've already seen this before, so you notice like we are skipping all the questions that he was asking during the minute-long portrait drawing, and we're just going straight to the reactions. It's really hard to skip because laughter is contagious, especially there was one reaction that made me bust out laughing. This one right here.
I enjoy it. I look like Bad Bunny.
Bro, I don't know why, but like this energy like is just so contagious to me. I freaking love it. What also keeps us watching through that fact is like, oh my gosh, he's getting paid more money. Hearing the audio, every time you hear it, you actually look down to the bottom left of the screen to see how much he got paid because it doesn't show how much he got paid. You just see the quantity of the money climbing, and that makes it so much more interesting. Money is such an amazing retention hack.
That was crazy. We're gonna count our spoils. We just went crazy drawing portraits of people in front of the Eiffel Tower.
They are showing us the quantity of money that has already been made on screen right now. So we already know, we have insider information. And just like us waiting to see the reaction of the portrait as it's turned around to the recipients, now we're gonna wait to see what's Ryan's reaction. We find out that he doesn't know how much money he's made. Very small, like 10-second retention.
And now for the coins. I was happy with the bus ticket out, but we might have another option.
Another option. Now there's something super cool that he didn't tell us what it was, but there's an opportunity for us to buy something extra, and we don't know what it is. Is it a baguette? No, we know the baguette is only $1.50 or €1.50 or whatever it is. So what else could he be wanting to buy?
92.47. What in tarnation?
And there is the Texas slang reaction that we were waiting for. Just a small mini payoff.
But this puts us in a crazy position because if my calculations are correct, I might be able to buy transportation out of the next city I'm going to.
There's the closed loop for what was opened maybe 20 seconds earlier.
Oui. The final one.
And remember when I told you to pay attention to this? This is called a bookend shot. It's the exact same visual cue and audio cue. So freaking powerful.
Regardless, I'm making progress. I'm gonna dance again.
Oh, yes. Here's why I love this last dancing. He's done it so much. You're like, why is this one so important? Because it shows that this whole time, this dude has just been dancing all day with no freaking music. Sometimes stripping everything away and just leaving it there, there's something so powerful about just making fun of yourself, being comfortable in your own skin. Every day Ryan posts a video, we're going to be breaking down everything that he is doing, as well as contributing to his donations. So today, day one, we will be donating $5 to help contribute to this awesome mission. If everyone donates $5, we can do a lot of damage. So if you liked this video, you're going to love this reaction right here.